to go even further beyond!
What's up, YouTube? Hope you enjoyed that little intro there. Pal Sensei coming at you with another video featuring Lamball, or I appropriately named Frank the Tank, because he's going to be ripping through pretty much every single boss that we did not fight in the first video. Originally, he fought everybody on Island 1. We are going to be taking him through everybody. Feybreak, Volcano, Ice, the Dune place, and we're gonna see what happens. So, a lot of stuff I have to cover. First, he is fully condensed, as you saw, fully maxed out in souls, which is a 60% bonus to attack, defense, and his health. I am now giving him the best devil fruits in the game, in my opinion. So Dragon Meteor is really freaking good. There's a lot of dark pals on the back end of this game, so that will be really good for taking them out. Ignis Rage, I gave him that move because fire has a double effective rate against both ice and grass. So in my opinion, every pal should have a fire move. And as you can see against Wampo Patan here, it just completely destroyed him. And you got to see the last move, which is the most broken move in Pal World, which is Curtain Splash. Now, Curtain Splash hits, I believe it's 120 base power, but it's 3 consecutive hits. So it's basically like a 360 power move. And it kind of changed my opinion on how these runs against these later bosses are going to go looking forward, which I'll probably discuss more at the end of the video. But as you can see there, we just fought Suzaku, and Frank the Tank just absolutely destroyed him with Curtain Splash. And these runs, I hop around a ton because I thought I found an optimal boss progression, which was kind of hard considering the amount of bosses that we're gonna have to fight. However, this has changed for future videos just because I felt there was a diminishing return with the amount of times I have to hop around to different islands and just how easy to difficulty range that these pals kind of go through, especially with the first 3 islands, the ice, the dune, and the volcano island. Once we get to Feybreak, obviously stuff gets ramped up quite a bit. But we're moving on to King Packer Christ. Now, he does have one move that is exclusive to him, which is, I believe it's called Royalty Slam. That right there, except Frank just poise breaks him out of the air right there, which is kind of crazy with Curtain Splash. And we're moving on to this round dino. What is his name? What is his name? Dang, I'm completely blanking on his name right now. Dinosum Lux? Yeah, Dinosum Lux, which is right in the name description, so I don't know why I'm trying to think of it by myself. That was really dumb. Anyway, Curtain Splash just blows through him, as you can see. And Lamball just kind of, wants to take a break. He knows he's wrecking this dude. He wants to give him a few good shots, but then he gets pissed off and, finally fires off an Ignis Rage. And then he gets smacked by the, it's called Botanical Smash. That is the exclusive move to Dinosum Lux. And as you can see, these first bosses, Lamball is just cooking through. He is level 60. As I said earlier, he's maxed out, fully condensed in souls. And I did breed him to have the 3 best offensive passives that I think are in the game, which are Ferocious, Musclehead, and Serenity. Now, Musclehead increases attack by 30%, Ferocious is an additional 20%, and Serenity, I believe it's an additional 10%, but it increases or decreases the move recovery speed. So every move that he has is going to be, he's going to be able to fire off these moves a lot faster with Serenity. And I didn't go for 4 passives just because I found that breeding 4 passives is almost impossible. And I didn't want to waste that much time on just 1 more passive, like, I don't know, Burly Body or something like that. So I just did 3, and as you can see, it doesn't really matter. And I've done a few other runs with these 3 passives, and the pals have been able to get through the bosses pretty easily in the beginning, and then obviously it gets ramped up, which is what I wanted. So I don't think it was that crucial to have the 4th passive. And I didn't opt to get any legendary passives just because it's incredibly hard to find pals with that. Now you can use the dog strategy from the new island with that one mystical dog has a passive that if you're riding on him and you catch a pal, it is highly likely that the passive that the dog has will be transferred over to the pal that you catch. So I did breed one of those dogs with Ferocious, Musclehead, and Serenity. Went around, caught a ton of pals, and that is kind of what you're seeing right now. Now each boss does have different passives in every run, so this is going to affect the times a little bit, but there's really nothing I can do about that. Oh, there's nothing I can do about that. I don't know. There's really nothing I can do about it, so I'm not overly worried about it, and it probably wouldn't change the times too much. And we're moving on to Nocklum. Now this dude is, I don't know what, his design is great, and as a base pal, he's amazing because he has 4 mining and 4 transference or whatever it's called. But he is so bad as a fighting boss. Water Curtain right there just nuked him, and he didn't even stand. I don't even think he got a move off right there. So yeah, I don't know. That guy has definitely fallen down the tier list in the future runs, which I'm excited to get to, but obviously we got to get through Lamball real quick. And one thing I forgot to mention, I got to do a better job at the beginning of these videos to really tell what these runs are supposed to be. I'm just doing a boss rush of the first island originally, and then this portion is going to be boss rushing everybody else. And these runs will be based off of progression and time. I will be creating a tier list that will show all the times and the last boss that each pal was able to get to. And then we're going to use that to evaluate just how good some of these pals are. Some of them you're going to be surprised about, and other ones you're going to be like, yeah, no crap, this guy is this good or this bad. Now we're moving on to Menacing Terra. Now, oh, sorry, this is not Terra yet. Just Menacing. There isn't a Terra in the game. That is a hoax. Yeah, don't even think about that. But this dude is really tough on pals without a lot of poise, because 3 of his moves will just toss these smaller pals around. Rock Lance, Stone Cannon, and Nightmare will just throw the As you can see, it just threw Lamball back. Now, Rock Lance has a base power of 150. That is his best move. And it doesn't even matter because Water Curtain, again, just destroys yet another boss. And this is kind of the problem I was seeing. And I will probably... I won't be using Devil Fruits in future runs. I'm just going to get that out of the way. I'm only going to be using the moves that each pal gets naturally from leveling up. And that is because if I gave every single pal Water Curtain, it is unfair. It's just so good. I didn't know what to do. You know, I'm just stumbling over my words right now, and I didn't know what to do. So we're not going to use Water Curtain or any of the Devil Fruit moves. We're going to use normal moves that these pals learn. So this run is just a precursor. The time that Lamball gets for this run is not going to matter at all. It's just to show how I got to the point I am right now and why I will not be using any Devil Fruits. Now, Starion is interesting because I had him pretty far down in the boss rankings, but he turned out to be really good. So he has shifted around. As you can see, he has been the first pal to do any kind of damage to Frank. And we are having to go back and heal up before we go back out. So, I mean, that horse is absolutely just blasting through pals. And I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm just rambling. It's really hard to talk for 37 minutes straight without a script. So I'm doing the best that I can. And if my best isn't good enough for you, just get the hell out. All 10 of them viewers that have watched my previous videos, you know, I don't need you. You know, this is for me. You know? So yeah. But anyway, come on back. I was joking about all of that. I love you. I'm not in love with you, but maybe. We'll see. Anyway. I'm rambling again. And we are on Tyrantris. Now, Tyrantris was shocking because this guy has a move that is really, really good. So that crazy move right there is called Apocalypse. It has a base power of 110, but that is not the move. His exclusive move, Web Strike Impact, which no, he didn't just use. Yeah, right there is so good, and it just tears people up. It gets the pal stuck in place, and then he charges in and smacks him with his little spider hands, and it just wrecks people. This boss really surprised me because he was kind of low in the boss rush rankings. He has been promoted to a higher tier, obviously after this run, which is good because he probably would have stopped a lot of these pals from progressing in the boss rush rankings when they could have killed more if he was higher in the tier list. For instance, this guy, Astagon, he is kind of strange as well. He's kind of like Menacing, where he has multiple moves that can break people's poise. So that's why I had him this high in the listing. But after watching that Tyrantris fight, I thought, you know what, this is not the right order. So we're gonna move Astagon down and Tyrantris up. But as you can see, yet again, Water Curtain absolutely nukes has another victim. I don't even, especially on the bigger dudes like Astagon, it hits him so much, and I don't know why. Against Tyrantis, it kind of missed a few times. Or it didn't miss, but it didn't hit for that crazy of a damage. Like against Jormatide right here, it did half of his health. That's 2,500 health, which is insane. It's such a broken move. Luckily, Dragon Meteor misses completely. And then he fires it off again. It's insane. The cooldown time, the damage. I gotta stop talking about it. If it was on a move tier list, it would be in a category of its own, and then there would be everything else. Like Triple S or something like that. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, look at that. It's just crazy. This is the reason why I decided, you know, no devil fruits. We're just gonna do it naturally. No way, sir. And now we're finally on to Menacing Terra, which I brought up earlier. And hey, what do you know? There is a Menacing Terra. I did not lie about that. So this guy is kind of disappointing as well, as far as the new island bosses. Now, Nocklum is substantially worse, but Menacing just kind of, I don't know. He just doesn't feel really good. He does have a jumping stinger exclusive move that has 110 base damage. And his best move is Rock Lance, which is pretty much everybody's best move. But, as you can see, Water Curtain taking him out. There's no point even talking about this because Lamball is just going to continue to use Water Curtain through deck every pal on these islands. And there we have it. Another boss pal down. And if you watch the previous video on Lamball, he struggled to get through Mammorest. However, obviously he wasn't condensed. He wasn't sold out. He wasn't given 3 crazy passives. But I think these Devil Fruit powers are just completely broken. And we're moving on to Anubis. Now, you know the developers had a soft spot for this guy because they gave him 3 exclusive moves: Ground Smash, Forceful Charge, and Spinning Roundhouse. Each one of these moves does over 100, with Ground Smash doing 140 base damage. Now, the coolest move is actually probably Ground Smash, but Spinning Roundhouse is really cool too. And Anubis, there's the Ground Smash right there. And Anubis is crazy matrixy. I would say after Elizabeth, he has the best agility. Well, actually, I take that back. Jet Dragon is pretty... I mean, that guy's just quick. He doesn't do matrixy stuff like Anubis, but he's definitely more agile than Elizabeth, so I take that back. I got to think about that statement a little bit more before I said it. But Lamball is cutting through him pretty well, and now they're having a dance-off. Anubis is challenging him to come forward, and Lamball is doing his best to break dance. Luckily, that move from Anubis pushed Lamball back far enough for him to actually fire a move off, but I actually pulled him back too quickly. I think he would have fired off a move right there. And there's the Spinning Roundhouse. Roundhouse! And Lamball is going to finish him off with a Dragon Meteor. And we are off to the next boss, which is going to be Blaze Mutt. Blaze Mutt was originally extremely far down this ranking because a lot of his moves break poise, and one of his moves, Fireball, has 150 base damage, which is crazy. And Ignis Rage, as we just saw, is really good too. However, Water Curtain is super effective against fire. Shocker, I know. So, 2 of those was enough to put that freaking monkey down. And we are moving on. This guy was super surprising to me. And he moved way, way up the list into the hardest POW category, I guess you could say. Because I did not know this, but he has some really, really crazy moves. And it is Azure Main. 2 of his moves, one exclusive, one that you can find. Thunder Rail's the one you can find, does it does 200. Yeah, it does 200, or it has a 200 base damage. Bolt Blink, which is the exclusive, is also 200. I guess it is technically over 200 because it's stab, so I did not lie about that. He also has All Range Thunder, which is 125 base, and Tri-Spark, which is 110 base. Each one of these is electric, so they're all getting stab. And Water Wall does not work well against this guy. And you can see Frank is struggling to get through him. I don't know what it is about some of these POWs, like the deer-shaped POWs. He can't hit them well with Water Wall, which is awesome. I finally took a breath because I was like, geez, you know, this is going to be super boring content if Water Wall just decimates everybody. And I had to reevaluate these runs to feature not Devil Fruits. But it was refreshing during this run, which obviously the video is 37 minutes, but the actual game time was like an hour 30 to see that Water Wall actually was not good against some pals. And Azure Main is just kind of a cool design, you know? And he's so close to getting Frank to die. In all these future runs, I don't know if I'm not gonna be happy if my pals die. But in this run, I was just thinking the whole time, please knock him out. I don't want this to continue. I didn't want this to get this far. I didn't know these Devil Fruits were this good. And he got a little help there from these dark guys. So that's a problem on Feybreak. There are so many just random pals walking around, and it kind of clutters up some of these fights. Luckily, I can kind of get rid of them before the battle begins, so it's not a big deal, but it can still pop up and ruin some fights. Now we are on to Cryolink's... oh, wait. Anyway. No, we're not. We're on to Gildane. Cryolink's fell a little bit down on the tier list just because of how quickly Lamball got through him, even though he does have some pretty good moves. I guess it's just his hip. I don't know. He just did not fare well against Lamball. We're going to have to see how he does against future pals. See if he can... I'm still trying to perfect the lineup, okay? So we're going to have to see how well he does in the future. But we're on to Gildane. Now, Gildane is ground, making him weak against grass. Luckily, Lamball has 0 grass moves. And that isn't even going to matter because he has Water Curtain. I mean, Water Curtain's so freaking good, man. Anyway, Gildane does have Stone Beat and Crash Dash. Now, Crash Dash is his exclusive move, which we kind of just saw. It has a base power of 120. I can't remember if it's ground typing. If it's ground typing, it's going to be a little over 120. However, that is his 3rd best move. He has Stone Beat, which I just said earlier. I don't know why I just said it again, which has a base power of 170. And Rock Burst, which has a base power of 130. Moving on to one of my favorite, probably my favorite pal, design-wise, is Splatterina. This chick with her butcher knife just is so cool, man. I freaking love it. And I hate that Lamball was able to hurt her so bad with that stupid water curtain move. I'm so glad I'm going to be doing these runs without any devil fruits. And Splatterina has an exclusive move, if I can remember, called Grudge Barrage, which has a base power of 130, and Dark Wisp is actually her best move with the base power of 160. But we are moving on to Sylvegus? And this guy, I kind of forgot in the... When I was playing the game, I mean, I'm still playing it casually, but when I was doing casual runs, I forgot about him. I was like, who is this level 59 shield dragon guy? But it's Sylvegus, obviously. He has Ignis Charge, which is right there, that shield chargey move. He takes reduced damage when that shield is up. It does have a base power of 170, which is, you know, it's really good. Luckily, Water Curtain is not doing great damage to this guy, I guess because he's shaped like a freaking horse too. He also has Charge Cannon, Blast Cannon, and Draconic Breath. Charge Cannon has a base power of 140, Blast Cannon 100, and the other one we do not care about because it is below 100. And who gives two turkeys, I don't know, that's not even a phrase about that. But as you can see, Frank, the tank is, I don't know, man, he's getting through him easily, handedly. I mean, it shouldn't be this easy. And we're going to the coolest place in Feybreak, in my opinion. It is so beautiful. We're fighting Celestia. Now, as you can tell, he looks like a horse or a deer because that's in his name. So Water Curtain is not going to be hurting him at all, which completely nukes Lamball's ability to fight because he just loves to spam that thing. And this move he just fired off right there is called Holy Nova. It is one of the few moves in the game that has a power over 200. It is exclusive to Celestia, and it's really freaking cool. He also has Pow Blast, that move right there, which doesn't seem to hit when I use it, but he uses it and it hits every single marker. He also has Holy Burst, Comet, and Comet Strike. Each one of these moves has a base power of over 100, so we can talk about him. Holy Burst is 120, Comet Strike is 110. And finally, not since Tarantus has Frank been knocked out. And I actually had Warsect Terra above Celestia in the first run because I was thinking, you know, Warsect Terra, his defense is crazy. He has cool moves like Stone Beat and Rock Burst. I mean, that was Stone Beat right there. It has a base power of 170. It's just really good. So I was thinking, this guy is an absolute tank. He's probably better than Celestia, which he might be still, but Water Curtain was smacking him a lot harder. So that is why Lamball right here was able to get through him easier than Celestia. And this is his exclusive move that Lamball said nah to, which is Giga Horn, which he flies at you. It only has a base power of 75 though. They probably designed it when the game first came out for the normal Warsect to have an exclusive move. So that's probably why the base power is so low. And right there, it didn't even connect, and I'm not sure why. He just stopped midair, and yeah, and that'll wrap it up. Lamball, Frank the Tank, makes it through yet another boss. He is streaking through the freaking quads right now because I don't know, he's just really good, and he just stripped naked and he's streaking through the quads. Anyway, moving back to... I wanted to rematch Tarantus because, like, there's no way this dumb spider-looking guy was able to beat Frank the Tank when literally no one else except Celestia could. So I was like, okay, let's see. And this move, that move is so cool. Apocalypse. What a great move. And he connects with his exclusive web strike impact move right there. And yeah, that move is crazy. It does so much damage. But Lamball is kind of looking good, and he connects with another one right there. And I think part of the reason why, I probably mentioned this earlier, is because Water Curtain is not doing that much damage. Sorry if there's a lag in the voiceover right there. My throat was getting dry. I just talked for like 22 minutes straight, which is more than I've talked in the past year combined. So I needed to pause the video right there. But Lamball gets beaten again by Tarantus, which is crazy. So that guy's going to go way up in the tier list just because of that exclusive move. Now, we are going to try some tower bosses. I didn't know what to do with these guys. I took them out of the boss rush runs just because people have already done these with pals. So they're not that important, especially this early fight. You would think that Zoe would have a chance, but she doesn't. She just gets completely melted by Lamball here. When Lamball decides to attack, I will say Lamball, I don't know what it is about him, but he is the least consistent pal when it comes to attacking. And it's so weird. I'll play these runs with other pals and they'll fire off their moves left and right, but Lamball just sits there more often than any pal I've ever seen. And he's doing it again. But anyway, we're fighting Lily and Lylene. Now, this is the second tower boss in the progression of tower bosses. She is located in the ice place by Sylvia. It's not in the ice mountain, like the actual ice mountain. It's in the Island 1 ice mountain spot. That is why it is the second tower. But as you can see, Frank the Tank Lambalskis is running through this guy, which I was actually kind of shocked about. I, fought these tower bosses maybe once. I didn't find their fights, that fun unless you're in a group of people. So I was like, oh, Frank's probably gonna get ran over by this chick. No. No. And don't call her a chick. We don't know how she identifies. Anyway. Curtain splash. Again, it hit him for 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 markers right there, when it only has 3 little curtain walls. So judging from that, it could potentially hit her for 9 markers. Now the base power is 120, so you're telling me that each one is doing 360? Are you kidding me? We need to boycott Curtain Wall if Battle Pokemon Stadium gets established, because Curtain Wall is just so cheap. Everybody would just spam the heck out of that thing. And we're moving on to an legendary pal, which I just kind of wanted to see how much damage Frank could do. So I decided to fight Frostallion. I don't know why I call him Frostallion. That makes no sense. Frostallion, who is actually a relative of the one horse. I'm blanking on his name. What is his name? It doesn't even matter. The best horse of all time that won the Kentucky Derby, the Triple Crown. It doesn't matter. I gotta stop fixating on it. Anyway, he is actually doing some pretty good work against Frostallion. Jesus. Frostallion. Not Frostillion. Here. Which I did not expect. And in future runs, Frostallion will be in them. However, pals will need to get through one other legendary pal before they get to this guy. Just because I think Frostallion probably has the best attack, defense, HP combo. And actually the fight, sorry, as I was yapping, I just keep talking, just daydreaming and talking, not even looking at what's happening. Lamball died, obviously. But I needed to breed Frostallion in my forced breeding camps. So I decided to catch him right now. And I don't know why I left this in the video, because I could have been done the voiceover, but now I have to talk for longer because I was an idiot and left this entire fight in here. So that's good. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. That move right there, I guess I'll just keep talking. That move you just saw right there is his exclusive move. It is called, I think, Crystal Wing. It has a base power of 120 or 110, not 120. Yeah, 110. But the coolest move is that Crystal, I think it's Blizzard. Is it Blizzard Spike? I don't even know. See, I didn't even want to talk about this, but I left it in the video because I'm a dummy. So yeah, sorry about that. If you just stop listening to the video right now and just move on with your life. You know, walk out of the bathroom. You've probably been sitting on the toilet for, 37 minutes. Wife's banging on the door, hey, get the heck out. And you're like, hey, I'm still going. Why are you always on my back about this stuff? But yeah, the video was over like 2 minutes ago. And I have to continue to ramble. Anyway, we're not going to fight any more legendaries just because Frank did not make it far on Frostillion at all. So, yeah. That's going to conclude the video, guys. My mouth is dry. That was a lot of talking. I'll see you for the next boss rush. Peace.